Good morning everyone, today we're checking out a brand new video from Outside Xbox of the 7 stupidest game overs we should have seen coming. Let's hop in and check it out.
Things in video games don't always react the way they do in real life. Waterfalls don't generally have treasure chests behind them, and if I were to punch a barrel, that barrel wouldn't explode just because it happened to be red. Maybe it's just full of marinara sauce. That said, there are plenty of times in video games where we've done something objectively stupid and dangerous and then made a shocked Pikachu face when we end up getting a game over because of it. I don't know what we expected to happen. Check out these 7 stupid game overs that we definitely should have seen coming, and beware spoilers ahead for the following games.
Spoilers, look out for My Summer Car, Nancy Drew, Ghost Dogs and Moonlight, Fallout 3, Mothership Zada, Soul Calibur 3, damn it, I kind of messed up one, and there are the others. Whoops. Wait, someone actually did this? Why would you... You know, never mind, you have to test it out.
Would Grand Theft Auto be more popular if you had to laboriously build every car you drove around in from scratch? No,
Could be
obviously.
fun.
However, it does still make for an intriguing game experience, as proven by My Summer Car, a game set in 1995 in the middle of the Finnish countryside, which is ostensibly about winning a rally race. However, the game involves you having to do every element of the process, from rebuilding and upgrading your battered Datsun 100A, the titular summer car, and earning enough money to buy parts and enter the competition by doing tedious odd jobs.
Laitetaanko sitä pullo jaloviina ja asbestihanskat? Vai maistuisiko mieluummin pitkät ystävät?
While this is in theory a game about your car though, it's as much a game about maintaining the driver. Your player character has Sims-style comfort bars for everything from hunger, to tiredness, to stress, to, yes, urine.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Well, hey, at least this guy is completely rich, so look at that. He's just one bill short from having $1 million.
And also the capacity for extremely poor decisions, like driving drunk,
Oh shit.
falling into a septic tank,
Wait. You can actually do that?
or expelling that aforementioned urine onto electronics.
Oh, Zap. There's an achievement for that.
Probably the stupidest game over in the game, and
There's an actual achievement for pissing on the TV. Oh, Lord.
one that we definitely should have seen coming, is this: having a cigarette while refueling your car at a gas station.
Probably helps with the stress. Whoop. And there it goes. Yeah, that ain't...
Probably
There's an
not great
achievement
for the car
that?
either.
No, at that point, you're just killing yourself for the achievements. Not even being stupid.
Anyway, last
Achievements.
night Sally called and she said she desperately needed my detective skills. She refused to say why over the phone. Naturally, I said I'd drive to Moon Lake immediately. But weird things started happening the moment I pulled up.
Teen super sleuth Nancy Drew was
Alright.
supposed to be a smart, observant detective, which is possibly why the various video games based on her adventures include a bunch of stupid deaths to punish people who aren't that. Because while it is possible to play a Nancy Drew adventure game as a competent crime solver, it's equally possible to stomp around the place being rude, causing chaos, and wrecking everything the various characters you meet hold dear.
Whoops.
Oh.
You did what?
Another case solved.
What case?
The case of the unbroken chandelier.
That's gonna cost you about 500k.
Most of the time, the game overs you earn from these actions aren't fatal because no one wants to listen to Nancy Drew, say, suffocate to death in an airtight tomb.
700 years from now.
Oh, my mistake. Still, while suffocating to death in an airtight tomb is something that could happen to any of us, we're less likely to stumble across a can of toxic pesticide and then spray it directly into our own face, as it's possible to do in Nancy Drew, Ghost Dogs of Moon Lake. And yet here's Nancy doing exactly that.
Oh, what the... You can't be serious.
If your brain works the way ours does, you're
Oh,
probably
boy.
wondering what happens if you do that over and over again. The answer to which is, Nancy chokes to death and dies. Obviously.
Is he able to, like, choke to death in every single game?
Doesn't take a genius level detective to figure that out.
No, it does not. Taking off their spacesuit in space, that kind of just makes a lot of frickin' sense. Huh. Does that mean aliens are canon in the Fallout universe?
Fallout 3's impressive slate of DLC saw your lone wanderer travel to the frozen war zone of Alaska, a Lovecraftian seaside village full of horrors, and worst of all, Pittsburgh. It also let you go to space, thanks to the add-on Mothership Zeta, an enjoyably campy
DLCs for that
B-movie style
game.
story that sees you fighting off alien abductors aboard the alien craft of the title.
Dude, it's kind of fun actually.
Being in space, Mothership Zeta had to introduce a few new gameplay mechanics to Fallout 3, such as teleporters, alien weaponry, and spacesuits which allow your character to survive the deadly vacuum outside the ship's artificial atmosphere. Or at least they do if you keep them on.
Oh, make sure you wear a spacesuit before you go out there, or you could die. Don't
Well,
forget.
you will
If you
die.
decide, for whatever reason, that the spacesuit just isn't your vibe, you are of course more than welcome to take it off and change into something more stylish. The downside is, your head will explode.
Oh, instantaneous.
Bethesda appears to have learned their lesson, as this isn't an option in their later space-only RPG, Starfield. To which I say, come on Bethesda, what happened to the concept of players' choices?
I mean, it just makes sense, except sometimes your players are just idiots.
Players' stupid choices.
Exactly. I mean, you're free to do anything else you want, but you will be willing to space it if you go out into space. It just makes sense.
You win. It looks like you need to train some more.
The Soul Calibur series of fighting games are 3D with ring outs, so you have to make sure you're aware of your surroundings so you don't do something embarrassing like accidentally jump into a lake when you're trying to avoid your opponent.
Yep, and there you go. Hey, the opponent followed.
Happens to the best of us. Even more embarrassing, however, is the humiliating KO you can receive in your battle against the giant stone statue known as Colossus. Colossus, as you may have noticed, is f***ing massive, standing well
Yeah,
over
he is
20
indeed a
feet tall
colossus.
and presumably being made of solid stone.
Damn.
You lose.
It's that last part that's a problem for you if you're not smart about it, however, because if you do manage to beat Colossus, he will keel over, and if you're stood underneath him when it happens, he will keel you by landing on you and crushing you.
And there it goes. KO.
You lose.
Gotta say, jumping humiliatingly into a lake starting to look real good right about now.
This is
Besides
nice work. It's new, isn't it? You know the trouble with an adventurous life, son? It can end before it gets started.
If you ask us, Kingdom Come Deliverance by Warhorse Studios isn't a game that was exactly screaming out for a more realistic, hardcore mode. This was, after all, a game where you could barely see a thing at night, where you could end up with a catastrophic stat-reducing hangover if you drank too much, and where you could end up locked in prison and burned to death during the prologue.
Oh, wait, what? Okay, no, that is a little impressive.
How about, and this is just a suggestion, a less realistic, easy mode? Believe it or not, becoming a tiny pile of ash in the opening hours of the game isn't even the wildest game over in Kingdom Come Deliverance. That comes when you attempt to start a new game in the hardcore difficulty mode.
You have died.
Reflecting the fact
What?
that in the hard times of 1403, 90% of people wouldn't live long enough to make it into adulthood, you'll likely have to attempt to start multiple games before you even get to the late teens you presumably are when the story begins.
You literally just started and says, you have died.
Get good, scrub.
Jeez.
There are a few of these deaths written for the game, but by far the most heartbreaking sees your character only on Earth for the briefest imaginable amount of time when you, and afterwards your mother, die during childbirth.
Oof.
I mean, it's good for my any percent speed run, but not much more than that. Fortunately, after a couple of rerolls, you'll survive, at which point your reward is you get to pick from 2 permanent negative anti-perks that you'll carry with you for the rest of your hardcore playthrough, like
Damn.
unpredictable sleepwalking or a tapeworm. What's wrong with easy mode, Warhorse Studios? Who hurt you?
Go back to normal mode then. Whoa.
Morning.
Go back to normal mode in that case then. I'll be honest, I didn't think these
My
androids
ass.
actually had
The
eyes.
commander's put me in charge of your maintenance, ma'am. That means I'll be performing regular checks on you from now on.
Near
I know that saying did seem kind of stupid. Well, it's an android. Of course it's gonna have eyes. I honestly thought it wouldn't have eyes because they're constantly running the cover things. So, well, it's just like they put the covers on them to give the illusion of having eyes. I don't know why I thought that. I don't know.
Automata is the undisputed champion of foolish, self-inflicted game overs, as we've seen with its endings triggered by wandering off, eating fish, or removing your own OS chip to see what would happen. Yeah, makes sense. However, perhaps the most thoughtless and regrettable
yes.
game over in Nier Automata is the ending known as Ending U, which makes use of the game's self-destruct feature. Being androids, 2B and 9S have access to a button that at any time causes them to explode, leaving them on 1 hit point, but dealing big damage to foes around them in the process. It's not hugely useful, except for the fact that it also destructs your android's pants, which you may want to do for a number of reasons. One of which is an achievement. The others are your own business.
Wait, really? There's an achievement for destroying...
The problem
So
is,
there
when I say you can use
So
this
there
button
is.
at any time, I mean it, and that includes when you're on board the bunker, Yorha's orbital space station. If you explode while you're here, it'll kill all your companions and blow up the entire space station, earning you the ending U for debunked.
Oh, there we go. Damn.
Probably better to just play the game with pants on. You'll just have to get by somehow.
Yeah, keep the pants on.
A man in his late 20s
Disco
stands behind
Elysium.
the counter, inspecting a stuffed seabird. As you approach, he gives you a sideways glance, then looks down again.
Considering how vital sleep is to humans, it's amazing how little of a factor it is in video games. In most RPGs, you can go
He is
from
kind of
near
right.
certain doom to saving the entire planet without ever resting your head on a pillow.
Amativ, Mubokotin Stinselok.
Meanwhile, if I don't get a tight 8 hours, I can barely remember my own name. I'm pretty sure it's Andy. Disco Elysium
Maybe
is
it is,
unique
maybe
in
it
many
isn't.
ways, but the way it handles sleeping is different from most games. You can stay up until 2 AM singing karaoke and such, but after that, time stops and you can no longer progress the game because everyone has gone home to bed. But now, you're all alone.
Ooh,
It
buddy.
may or may not be
Skills.
connected to that
No.
karaoke performance. What's more, you can't just lie down in the street and close your eyes. Disco Elysium requires you to find an appropriate place to sleep, and often that involves paying 20 real to sleep at the Whirling in Rags hostel cafeteria.
Good. You got the room for the night, but remember, you'll need another 20 real tomorrow.
By day 3, the
Oh,
fishing village
crap.
unlocks, and there's an abandoned hut where you can stay for free. But if, on day 2, you've spent all your cash and don't have a place to stay, there's another option that begins to look mightily attractive.
The smell of rotten food rises to greet you. You see soggy cartons, dirty rags, and organic waste.
Doesn't seem that different to my student apartment. Similar
Aw.
size too. In spite of fairly rich descriptions as to how disgusting the dumpster smells, you can choose to, as the game puts it, embrace being Hobocop and slide yourself into this putrid,
Hobocop.
garbage-filled container.
The smell of rotten food rises up at you as you climb inside the trash container.
Unfortunately, it turns out that sleeping in a rancid dumpster has consequences, and the game slaps you with an instant game over and an absolutely withering report in the local newspaper.
Disgraced cop sleeps in trash.
Disgraced cop sleeps in trash.
Oh, well, okay,
Make that
excuse me.
disgraced cop gets a tight 8 hours in trash and can now remember his own name. It's definitely Jane.
Gart, manager of the establishment, had this to say. He did ask for a free room, and I said no. I don't make the rules of the game. I just play my part.
Hey, thanks
yes,
for watching this
everyone
video about
does.
wild game overs that we did not see coming, even though we should have. If you want to watch more videos from Outside Xbox, click on this video here for something from us, something from Outside Extra down here. And if you'll excuse me, there is a piano suspended above me right now. The rope is getting very thin. So
Alright everyone, that's going to be the end of today's video, and I hope you all enjoyed this. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more. Link to the original will be in the description below, and I'll see all of y'all next week when we flick back on. Till then, this is Fox, signing out. Peace.